Gosh, I had big plans for when I came out on this stage. I was gonna dance, jump around, get the energy up, and then I gave birth 6 weeks ago. The jumping situation has changed. Top 10's in the splash zone. Seriously, I just want to take a second to say congratulations and acknowledge the sacrifice that every single person made in this room to get here to this event. I can remember my first summit 4 years ago so incredibly clear. And if you let it, this event has the power not just to change your business or your fitness, but to seriously change your life. I want you to raise your hand right now if this is your very first summit, or if you remember your very first summit as a serious change in your life. Every single hand in this stadium is raised right now. Today, I am here to talk to you about what I believe is our biggest, most important asset in this business. But I have to be honest. When Jeff Hill first called me and offered me to speak on this stage to you today, I thought, great, I'm gonna tell my story, it's gonna be awesome. And he said, no, we want you to train on social media. And instantly, I thought about all of the people who would be sitting in this audience, people who have bigger followings than me, people who are better at this business than me, people who know social media way better than I do. And I immediately unqualified myself. And then I thought back to my very first summit that was so life-changing for me. And it wasn't because there were experts on stage who had researched and planned. What changed my life the most was that there were people on the stage who were just like me, who were telling me how they had figured it out. So while I can't stand up here today and tell you that I am the best at social media in this room, and while I cannot tell you that I am the biggest expert, what I can do is stand up here and take you through the broken down steps of what I've done over the past year and a half to transition solely over to Instagram for my business, the steps that I've taken over the past year and a half to generate 90% of the challengers and coaches that are joining my team from Instagram, and to showcase how in the past 4 months since I gave a presentation like this, I have organically gained 10,000 followers on Instagram by doing what I'm going to teach you today. But first, I really want us to zoom out. I want you to take off this title of Beachbody Coach, and I want you to think of your business as just that, a business, not as a network marketer, not as a Team Beachbody Coach. And if we're thinking about our Team Beachbody account like a business owner, we've got to think about consumerism. We've got to think about marketing. We've got to think about how people purchase things, how people are motivated. And about a year and a half ago, social media, what we run our businesses on, or our storefront, changed. Consumerism changed. Last year, according to Forbes, over 60% of all purchases in the United States were done online. Social media was the biggest out of all online purchases. Meaning that people no longer want to look at the perfectly airbrushed model or the perfectly crafted commercial that costs millions of dollars. What people want is the girl next door who used the curling iron and loves it. What they want is their cousin's uncle's best friend who used that workout program and it helped her get ready for their wedding. They want engaging, personal, credible, relatable. As I'm reading this article and watching this video all about this idea of a micro-influencer, which is someone who showcases a product or a service on their social media, using those feelings, engages with their followers, is personal, is credible, is actually a product of the product, I thought, oh my gosh, this is what a Beachbody coach is. We are micro-influencers. So this change wasn't happening to our business. This change was happening for our business. But just like with every change, even though it's exciting, we have to go with the flow. So here's what I did over the past year and a half to build my business with that change. Step number 1 When we think about any kind of social media, there are two of the most important questions that we should think about. Number one, how are we finding new people, and how are new people finding us? Because you could have the greatest content in this room, but if it's falling upon the same 100 eyes, then you're not going to move forward. And then step number two, once you've done all this work to get those new eyes to you, are you providing content that creates engagement? And then step number three, after you've engaged with them and after you've turned attention to questions, to engagement, to conversion, are you creating that micro-influencer feel? Are you credible? Are you believable? But first, I really want us to throw away old sayings that have lost their meaning. Now, I have said one of these old sayings in every single one of my presentations and all of my YouTube videos, but as this change started happening and as I started really researching, how can I be a better coach and how can I get my message out there more effectively, all of a sudden these old sayings felt empty. Sitting behind my computer by myself, trying to figure out what my voice is, how I can be myself, right? Speak to who you were before Beachbody, find your niche. Your vibe attracts your tribe. It sounds sexy, but what does it actually mean, right? What is my vibe? And how does it turn into my tribe? So I want us to think about this in a different way. And I want to introduce to you the life phase rule. So instead of trying to rack your brain about who you're talking to, building an avatar that's this fictitious character that you write out different characteristics about, she hates purchasing on Amazon, hates to get scammed, loves the color blue. How do you talk to this fake person? Instead, what I encourage you to do is take out a pen and paper, take out a notebook on your phone, and list out, where are you in your life right now? Are you newly engaged? Do you have kids in school? Are you a new mom? And over the past year and a half, my brand has drastically changed. So I have had to go from no kids to pregnant to new mom. Therefore, how I utilize this platform, opportunity, and products has changed. But now that you've figured out your life phase, what does that mean in terms of finding new people and new people finding you? We have to think about, what tools does this platform provide us to do so? Hashtags, pages, and influencers. I had one of my Star Diamond coaches come to me, and we had a one-on-one call, and she said, I feel like my message is solid right now. I'm slaying on social media. I love all my posts, but I'm just not attracting the right kind of people. And I said, okay, well, let's rack our brains and let's think about, where are you in your life right now? She's newly engaged, about to be married in under a month. And I thought, other people who are newly engaged, about to be married, what are they looking up? What do they want to talk about? They want to talk about the wedding, the dress, the venue, the honeymoon, the flowers, ways to save money for the wedding. How do you find them? What hashtags relate to where they're looking when they're scrolling on their phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, stressed out about their wedding? Think about how you can find them. Pages like The Knot, blogs that they would go to, pages that the photographers might have where you can connect with people. And I started to make lists for me personally about all of the brands that new moms might use, all of the things that new moms might be looking into, might need advice about, might read a post about. And after I made these lists, I realized that I am completely non-creative. I came out with about 4 things, and then after those first 4 things, I was like, okay, what else do I search? The cool thing is that Instagram has a built-in tool to help us be creative. There's a little magnifying glass at the bottom of your social media page called the Explore tab. If you click on this tab, you can type in a person, a celebrity, a hashtag, a brand, and at the top, a bar will populate with about 20 to 30 related hashtags that maybe you might not have thought of. When I found this, I started to make lists and lists and lists of all these different hashtags of brands that might attract people who are in the same life phase as me. Not before Beachbody, not where I am, later on, but who am I right now, and how does the value of what we offer, how do I get those eyes to me? Now that we've gotten those eyes, we spend time populating those hashtags on our posts. Then what I would also do, once I found a hashtag where I thought, you know what, I love looking at these people, we have to look at the second part of the equation. How do we find new people, right? Because we can't just hope to have people coming to us. We have to do the work. So I would go to one of these pages that would interest me, spend a couple minutes scrolling, find someone who caught my eye, spend 2 to 5 minutes on their page, like and comment, and start a relationship. Now, you're doing all this work, you're filling the top of your funnel, you feel great about that and the relationships that you're creating. But when you bring them to your page, are you creating an environment that is healthy for engagement? Are you prompting people to message you? Essentially, social media has turned into the mall. And if social media has turned into the mall and you are still posting how you used to post, you are the kiosk in the center of the mall that tries to rub lotion all over your arms. Or the butterfly hair clip lady. Y'all know when you see them, you're like, oh my God, Mom, you were in an accident, I'm on my way. Can't talk. So before, we used to utilize the tools that Instagram gave us in a different way, right? Hashtag Team Beachbody, hashtag 80-day obsession, hashtag Carl Deichler. I love you, Carl, and I bleed Team Beachbody blue, but we can reach more people if we don't attract other coaches to us. The only thing those hashtags and posts do are tell the new eyes that you're working so very hard to get on your page that you're about to sell them something. And guess what? If they like what you're going to sell, they're going to type it into Google and they're going to go to teambeachbody.com and they're going to purchase it without you. Are you creating an environment that isn't telling them the whole story? Last year we were introduced to curiosity marketing, and I think that when we see examples, it's better explained. This is what my social media used to look like. In these pictures, I tell the whole story. There is no reason for someone to message me and question, which ultimately creates a relationship, which is ultimately our superpower, relationships, community. If we're not creating an environment to connect with people, then we can never create those. Here, if I went to this page, I would already know that I'm doing the 21-day fix. I love Shakeology, and I work for Team Beachbody. Now, because of this switch to social media, and because everyone is kind of looking there to buy and sell, it's become this huge conglomerate of e-commerce. People's guards are up. They have their sirens on when they come to a page and feel like they're going to be sold something, even if they need the solution. And even though we know our solution is amazing, they put their walls up. So instead, take them down the curiosity trail. Now, these posts are exactly the same as the ones before, except for there's an element of mystery. There's an element that prompts people to ask me, hey, what is that shake that you have? How did you get that transformation? Then within that message, I can say, it's an amazing program called Shift Shop. Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever done an at-home workout before? This way, when people come to my page, they start scrolling. They're like, oh my gosh, how is she doing these workouts at home? How does she look so happy? What is this shake she's drinking? There must be crack in it. I don't understand. I have to message her. Right? That's what we want people to feel. So I want you to think about, do your followers, once they're coming to your page, have the opportunity to ask you how, what, where they can get these things, how you can help them? A couple things. Don't answer their questions with specifics in the comments. Don't tell people, I'm doing 80-day obsession. Try and find some different language. I'm doing an 80-day program that is kicking my butt. You can do it at home. It helps you with food, and it's really intense. Simple language that doesn't tell the whole story. Don't send them elsewhere to search. The second I see something that intrigues me on social media and someone puts what it's actually called, I go straight to the interwebs. And the frustrating part is that we cannot control the information that they see there. And step number 3, which is arguably the most important step. Once you've done all this work to get these eyes there, you've found your life phase, you're talking to them mysteriously, creating curiosity, creating these relationships, they're asking you questions, you're getting them into groups, but are you credible? Are you someone people trust? And over the years, we hear time and time and time again, consistency, consistency, consistency. And it's like, what does the consistency actually mean? Instead of trying to bog your brain with, I have to post about my shake today, and I have to post about my workout today, and I have to do my 4 vital behaviors, I want you to think about, are you offering publicly the value of what we have to offer with our programs, with our opportunity, according to your phase of life? For example, if I was spending all this time attracting new moms to my social media, and I was posting about how my shake helped me with my hangover from the night before out at the club, no one would relate to that product. Instead, I think about, how does this shake relate to a new mom? For example, in this post, I post about being able to have the freedom to stay home. If you're not there yet, talk about, that's why I'm here, in order to be able to do that one day. And then secondly, credibility is seen in a community. Community is our superpower as Team Beachbody. In this post, I talk about how we're not just new moms, but guess what? We would have never known each other if it wasn't for Team Beachbody, and we're very best friends, and now our kids will grow up together. Do you know what that could add to another person's life? I don't say Beachbody, I say opportunity, I say platform, I say job. Watch your language. Being relatable. We always hear be real, tell the real story, but it's really just about all of those things that would make you say, oh my God, me too, girl. This post is about, in my pregnancy, how at my final OB appointment, I dropped the pee cup into the toilet and had to fish it out with my finger. This post is full of 200 comments of other moms saying, oh my gosh, I relate to you. About half of them came into my latest sneak peek, and about half of that number signed up to join my team. And then finally, are you telling the real story? Not just about that this is super fun and you sign up and you play on social media and you make all the money in the world, which we all know is not true. But you're wondering why you're attracting people who don't want to do the hard work. Are you telling them the real story? You can't fault them if you talk to someone about how easy it is and then they sign up and don't want to do any work or get to summit, right? So tell the real story. No one likes someone who loves everything, right? So be real on your social media. In the later half of my pregnancy, I could only go to this store called Pea in a Pod. And the lady who worked there was very sweet. But initially, before I went into the dressing room, she told me, I hate yellow on blondes. Just don't even go over there. Little did she know, I had a yellow dress in the dressing room that I was super excited about. Put it on, came out, and she goes, oh my God, that just looks amazing. I love yellow on blondes. Automatically, I trusted nothing she said after that point. If she told me something else looked good, I said, yeah, okay. Be real, be honest. Tell people about stuff you don't love. It's okay. You don't have to love everything. What that does is create trust. And then finally, are you finding the different angles of what our products provide to the life phase? I understand that after 4 years, posting about a shake can seem like, what am I going to say today? Instead, I want you to make lists about your life phase. What does that shake add to it? Find the different angles. Your marriage, your health, your energy, your brain power, being able to run on 3 hours of sleep because you have superfoods. Really starting to build this credibility, consistency. Going back to the beginning when I talked about a micro-influencer, you are not just a Beachbody coach. You are an influencer for health and fitness and an opportunity that can provide so much more, but we have to help people on our social media make that choice. In the beginning, I talked about, I can remember my first summit so very clearly 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, I was down there on the floor and I said, one day I really want to speak on that big stage and help some people. And I really want to teach some people that if I can do it, they can do it too. All of the changes that I told you today, they aren't from an expert. They're just from a normal, average, everyday girl who tries to figure it out every single day. So I want you to go home, and I want you to make these lists. And then in 4 years at Summit 2022, I want you to find me, and I want you to tell me about your full circle summit, because it's possible for you too. Thank you guys so much.